3.
Oh
Here
man,
we go.
week 3.
Oh,
Wow,
I'm ready.
we made
I'm
it.
ready for week 3.
As we're getting closer. Listen, I don't want to talk like this. I don't want to talk like this. We're getting closer, more excited through the season. I don't want to think about the end.
no. We don't think
No.
about that.
Yeah.
We
I
still at the
mean,
beginning. We still at the
Still at
beginning.
the beginning.
the only thing I'm excited for about the end is my fantasy football championships. But I can wait.
You
But
mean
you've been
the
waiting long,
the
so-
fact that you are getting championships is gonna end? I agree with that. Yeah.
No.
That
I also
that
agree.
I agree with.
I'm sure that's on some people's wish list, but it's not gonna happen.
All right. Okay.
But
So how-
we're gonna welcome you guys into the Couch Champion Fantasy Football Podcast once again.
Thank you for joining us.
We are here, Sherlin, Xander, Theo, all representing different colors.
Semi. No. I saw
I don't
Glenn.
know. Are you Glenn is like a
I
magenta.
think Glenn trying to bite my
No.
style, man. Hey,
I feel like
Glenn.
Christmas right now. I don't know,
No,
like this color coordination.
I have a vibrant red. You have a faded red, much like your football team. So I guess that makes sense.
All right. You know what? I will take
Need
that.
some aloe, Sherlin?
I won't even retort this morning. I'll take that.
Listen,
Let's talk about
you
last
know who
night's game.
needs aloe. The Texans offense needs
Oh
some
boy,
aloe.
they really
Oh.
do. They really do.
That
But-
is
There was a bright spot, and this may be just for me.
Okay.
Anthony Miller, he returned last night and he got about, I think, 6 targets and a touchdown, and I think maybe 60 yards in deep dynasty leagues. That's a bright spot for me. Anything else?
Yeah, I agree. Anthony Miller, he seems to have, or at least Mills seems to like Anthony Miller. So
Right.
that's a good thing, I guess. I mean, Cook's still getting play, I guess. And
Cooks-
to be
Oh.
fair,
I don't care about no one on this offense except Cooks.
Let's talk about Cooks. Hey,
No one will be relevant
Yeah.
but Cooks.
who was it?
We
where-
all, yeah. Go ahead.
Who,
Trevor.
Although,
who,
I
who
will
was it where
say-
we had to stand up for Cooks? Was it Glenn? That me and you had to stand up for Cooks, Theo? Or was it reverse?
I don't think I
I
understand.
mean,
I just
I know
wasn't sure
I
what it was gonna
I
be.
never was against. I know. I mean,
It was
personally,
Glenn. I
never was
remember
against.
now. Glenn,
Yeah, I
Don't-
I think
don't-
Glenn was the lowest.
Right.
I wasn't against Cooks. I just was unsure of what this offense would be.
The offense is Cooks. Newsflash.
No, listen here. I saw this crazy stat. I wonder if I can pull it up real quick while we talking about it. Cooks is just the most disrespected
Yep. Yes.
football player of all time.
Yes. Yes.
This
He
dude
is.
has been doing it for like multiple teams. I'm not gonna go through looking for the actual tweet, but
Yeah.
someone was just bringing notice to the fact that this dude has stats that rival Calvin Johnson,
Yep.
Randy Moss,
Yep.
like the
Like
things that he
he's-
has done.
I think what happened is because he moved around so much, people I guess get the perception that he ain't that good because
That's
he can
true.
stay with one team.
That's true.
Mhm.
He moved around a lot, and now he's with the putrid
The
Texans.
worst,
so
the
people
worst team
assume,
in the
you know,
league.
I just
But-
I'm gonna wait for the football life on Brandon Cooks,
yeah.
the best NFL player you never heard about in 20 years. But
Yeah.
no man, I mean listen, Cooks is an every week starter. I mean
he is.
that one
He is.
he solidified it last night. You just start Cooks. You just
Yeah.
start him. He
Yeah, I
gets all
mean,
the targets.
you have to because they, at least from last night, they don't have much of a running game, so they have to
Not
throw
at
the
all.
ball.
Not at all.
And Cooks is pretty much the only look. Miller started to come out last night, so maybe
Yeah.
he'll get some more targets, but Cooks
Yeah.
is by far the main target in this offense.
I mean, the thing about it is we already know that this offense is not going to spend a whole lot of time in the red zone. It's not going to spend a whole lot of time in positive game scripts. I mean, Anthony Miller, I guess, like you said, in deep dynasty formats is a fine, like, stash or whatever. But I don't think he'll be relevant. And you can quote me on this one, Sheldon. I really don't think he'll be relevant the rest of the season.
I mean, hey,
so-
I can agree. I'm just trying to have a silver lining on this Friday.
Yeah, but I mean, one thing, unfortunately, that we have to bring up is the Christian McCaffrey
CMC.
injury. Down again
Yeah.
with a hamstring.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't look terrible to me, but
No.
hamstrings are a funny injury.
They are.
It's a-
Sometimes they
it's a
keep
lingering
players
one.
out. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I assume he'll be out maybe a week or two. and then come back, and hopefully he doesn't re-aggravate.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
Yeah.
He doesn't
Re-aggravate it. Yeah, you're right.
re-aggravate it. The
Yeah.
word just felt wrong just now.
A follow on Twitter that I want to give everyone out. Go out and follow Pro Football Doc.
Okay.
He is a former NFL sideline doctor that is now does his own practice, and he has his own I'm gonna go ahead and yes, he does have his own podcast as well. But the real follow is his Twitter, because usually when any injuries happen, he is on the scene immediately and gives immediate analysis based on the video.
Okay, cool.
Like how long he expects players to be out, the grade of the injury, and what to actually expect.
That's a good tip for the
Success rate
fans.
is pretty. Yeah, his success rate is pretty good. I've been following him since last year.
Cool. Any other bright spots on the Carolina side?
Yeah, just before we move on, I just wanted to mention what he mentioned, which is that he expects that this is going to be a 1 to 2 week for CMC. So,
look at that.
Chuba Hubbard.
The two.
Pro Football
Is it David J. Chow?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Chuba Hubbard. Immediate analysis is people are going to go crazy on the waiver, and people are going to overspend.
Agreed.
No one is Christian McCaffrey.
No, definitely not.
No one is Christian McCaffrey. We saw that this Freeman guy got looks too in the backfield. I think it's going to be a bit of a split with Hubbard having the more targets. So you go after him, but this is probably going to be another Elijah Mitchell situation where you're going to have to give up the whole purse to get him, and I don't think you should do that.
No, I mean I feel like he'll be serviceable, but he won't replace that McCaffrey void.
Yeah, but hey,
So
if
you go in with tempered expectations, you'll get what you.
But at the same time,
but
if you have Christian McCaffrey, you possibly do need a running back.
Yeah. Listen, if you have Christian McCaffrey,
that's your first round draft pick.
Yeah, if you have Christian McCaffrey, those are the people that have to. You have to put it all in, and that's just the situation you're in. Robbie Anderson. Before we move on, y'all, Robbie Anderson is in trouble.
I agree. Well, the thing is, with Christian McCaffrey going down, he may be back to being relevant, because that was
because McCaffrey went down. He still wasn't getting much looks last night.
Went down early in that game, and he still ended up with a dud.
I mean, DJ Moore is looking like Sam Darnold's go-to.
Yeah.
And Terrence Marshall is getting some more targets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean,
you have Tommy Tremble in there doing stuff.
I saw that.
These other guys doing stuff.
Robbie Arnold. I'd say Robbie Arnold. Robbie Anderson was already. He needs a big play to be relevant.
Yeah.
He looks like the odd man out in this offense.
Yeah. And even Sam Darnold called his number twice, his own number.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and it may also have Arnold, the tight end, getting more looks. So.
It may be, if you can sell high on Robbie, this may be the time.
No, this is not sell high.
I don't know if any more high
games in a row.
I would paint the narrative. I would paint the same narrative that I tried to. Hey, when CMC went down last year, Robbie Anderson took over, and just feel it out, see how it goes.
You could try. I mean, ain't no harm in trying.
Yeah, you might have some slow managers in your league. But let's move on. We're gonna talk about this upcoming football week.
Look forward.
A lot of awesome games on the docket.
As always.
Can't wait for Sunday once again. We've been, football has really been giving us some great games.
Yeah, great games
so far throughout the season. So much.
You had very few dud games.
Very few, and this weekend I expect the same. So come on, football, keep it up.
Yeah, good job, right. Good job.
So the first game on the schedule is Washington versus Buffalo.
You serious? That's what we're talking about first?
That's the first one on the list. It's a 1:00 game.
Let's talk about it then.
The first one I see is Colts and Titans, but
that's what I thought too. But hey, let's let Glenn take this one over. Go ahead.
Oh,
we probably on different websites then.
Go ahead, Glenn. Take this one over.
Washington, Buffalo. I mean, you have your regular starters here. You have Allen, Diggs, McLaurin, Heineke. Buffalo is a tough defense. I don't know if I would stream Heineke against this defense.
Oh, definitely not.
I would
probably not.
I was waiting to see. I was waiting to see if you would call the star running back of Washington, a starter this week because he is in a little bit of trouble, it looks like. Antonio Gibson.
You mean with the injury, or you mean just with his play so far?
Everything, injury and play. I don't know which one is attributing, if the injury is attributing to his play, but he is like, I think RB 31 possibly.
Listen, man, you drafted Antonio Gibson
I mean,
too high to sit him.
unless you have a
to
better
me,
play, you got to roll him out there.
Yeah, to me, you can't sit him. You got to ride out the storm.
Right.
I think it's just been a couple of weird script games. We saw how the game went last week. It was kind of disappointing to see that in their nickel drills, when they were trying to drive up the field, that Antonio Gibson was nowhere to be found. It was all McKissick.
Yeah.
Even though Antonio Gibson is a converted wide receiver, I don't understand it. Like, he can catch the ball.
I think the pass pro was something that they said he had to work on. And, you know, if you have somebody who's already doing it and they can catch the ball like McKissick, I don't know. This may be a sell high candidate for me. Honestly, I have him on a team. And if someone can make me an offer for like a Zeke or, you know, I don't know, somebody who I think has more upside, I may sell.
I mean, if you get Zeke, I would do that. Definitely do that. That would be around the guy. It would have to be someone around that same level. I'm not going to sell Antonio Gibson for, you know, for lower than that. And I think you ought to ride out the storm. But but first the Washington defense team, I'm not sure this is a defense so far. So far this season hasn't been a fair defense.
No, it hasn't.
Been the same defense that they've been last season.
No,
it hasn't.
So are you starting Zach Moss?
No.
Oh, hell no.
No. I mean, he had a good game last game, but that was in
2 touchdowns
time.
And it was just 2 touchdowns that brought it up.
That was pure garbage time.
Just wanted to paint some perspective on his numbers last week.
No, we're not doing that.
Even though Singletary, if I could get him for free, I'd put him on my team.
Yeah, sure. You could take a flyer on Singletary.
Because he could be a bye week. He would sit on my bench, but if, like, you know, with bye weeks approaching, he could be a bye week flex that could still get to a few points.
Some people are hurting at running back, and if you've played Devin Singletary, there's worse plays this week.
Agree.
There's worse guys that you could play. Josh Allen has not been his prolific self for the season as yet either.
No.
He's definitely started off with some tough defenses though.
Agree.
So I expect that to kind of peter out. Josh Allen is still going to be great. I think he's still going to provide these games.
You're not benching Josh Allen.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Rolling out with him every week,
unless
still ride the storm. It is going to get better.
Yeah. And then looking at the Bills schedule, they do have Houston next week. That should be juicy.
Yep.
Followed by Kansas City, who
that's a high scoring game.
That's a high scoring game. And then you have the horrible defense of Tennessee. So I'm just giving you hope about Josh Allen. Like, hey, roll him out.
See?
They have a bye week.
Look out.
They have a bye week in week 7. That's just the last thing I wanted to say. So you know, you got a solid 3 weeks of goodness to see how Josh Allen's going to roll out for you.
Yeah, when players start off like that, definitely you want to keep an eye out on their who they played, what the game script was in these games. Sometimes that tells you why certain players didn't perform the way you are, and you just need to take a deep breath and just wait for the good times to roll, because they are going to roll with Josh Allen.
Yeah,
still a prolific passer. Let's we want to move on.
Yeah,
all good.
Let's move on. So let's start from what should be the beginning. Indianapolis.
Yes, the right beginning. Thank you, Shirley.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, fine. I switched to the site y'all on. Go ahead.
Indianapolis and Tennessee. The usual starters on the Tennessee side. I call this a bounce back game for Tennessee, for Tannehill, for Henry. It's a continuation of his second half of last game. My gosh, did we talk about that? Oh, once again, greatness. And then it's a split. Honestly, there's a split in the wide receiver room between Julio Jones and AJ Brown. I honestly can't tell you who is going to get the targets and who is going to start. So that's something I'm watching.
Oh, look at that. You had this, Xander. Remember what he was saying before the season start? Oh, everyone's going to eat. Don't worry about it. Everyone you don't have to worry. Now,
Yeah, AJ
some change.
AJ Brown
Yeah.
had a pretty lackluster week last week.
He did. And a lot of drops. My gosh.
Yes. I want to say, to the AJ Brown guys, I want to give them some solace. It's gonna get better with AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
AJ Brown.
it's definitely not. It's not time. It's
and
not
Brown.
time to panic.
Yeah.
No.
The drops mean there are targets there.
Agree.
Just
Thank you. Thank you,
work on
Theo.
catching these balls.
Yep.
And if he made some of those catches, Tannehill would have had an even better week last week. He salvaged his week definitely because he had a rough start to that game, but it would have been even better if AJ Brown had actually caught the balls he was supposed to.
Yeah, those drops were brutal. He had 9 targets, but only caught 3.
He had a drop problem last season too. So
yeah.
This is something that AJ Brown needs to deal with, but I think he's gonna get it right. I think he might just be a little nervous, guys. He's playing with his his mentor, Julio Jones on the other side.
Yeah.
His idol. He's
he need to let Julio's hands rub off on him. Not his toe, just his hands.
AJ. Come on.
All right,
buddy.
and then on the Indianapolis side, it's very nebulous.
Yeah.
Who's gonna start for Wentz? Eason, I think.
They're gonna
I'm thinking
run.
Eason is starting.
I think
they're gonna
Eason is
run
starting.
out. Apparently, they're gonna run on Eason and the other guy, and they're gonna have them like flip flopping. Is what I heard.
Who's the other guy? Ellinger?
Huntley.
Huntley. Yeah.
No, okay. Ellinger is injured.
Okay, so I'm fading.
Right.
I'm fading everybody on the Colts side this week.
Every last one.
Yeah,
even Jonathan Taylor.
Agreed.
Because
Jonathan Taylor has not been great out this season. He hasn't been breaking the same tackles.
No.
He's been known to do. He's just been off.
And there's no threat. There's no threat of a passing game at all.
Exactly. So
right. So
that box is gonna be stacked. So
yeah,
they're gonna stack the box. And
if you can bench your Colts players, please bench them.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one thing in like a tight end premium league, like I mentioned last week, I was rising on Doyle. If I have to, I will still start him, but that's something to watch because rookie quarterbacks or not so great quarterbacks still rely on their tight ends, and he may be one of the guys that gets the benefit. Hey, this is Silver Lining Fridays for me.
I'm not. If Doyle was the only guy there, I would be more inclined. But you got more.
There's still more Ali Cox. Yeah, agree.
I would
tight end. So
yeah. I would give that silver lining to players that tend to shine regardless of who the quarterback is.
Agree.
I don't see Doyle as that type of player.
Okay, let's move on from this garbage dump. Of course, Tennessee is getting the win.
From one garbage dump to another.
Yeah.
Falcons versus Giants.
Trash of the week.
Strangely, I think there are going to be a lot of points here.
I think so too.
You know what?
Neither defense is playing lights out. So I feel like it's going to be a lot of points, especially if Danny Dimes plays like he did last game where he was actually getting the ball out.
We got to put some respect, fantasy-wise, on Danny Dimes' name.
I thank you, Sherlin. I'm glad that you brought it up. I really agree. I think that we have to start to look his way as a streamer, as a streaming candidate.
Agree.
This guy, he has a rushing floor, just like all the rushing quarterbacks that we love because they give you a certain amount of points. Yeah. He has a rushing floor. No, we just don't look at him running. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Don't watch him play.
You may cost him the trip. If you look too hard, you may cost him the trip.
Just if you play, put him in your lineup and don't watch the game.
Yeah, don't watch the game.
Exactly.
Don't watch the game.
I think Danny Dimes is a superb quarterback streamer this week. I think he's going to be a get-right game for Kenny Golladay once he plays.
Ouch.
Okay. And I think that the Atlanta Falcons, I agree with Glenn that there's just going to be points to be had. And I think you try to get someone, you try to get the main guys.
That's your Ridley. Pitts may do something.
Yeah, Ridley finally had a good game.
The star running back and wide receiver, Mr. Patterson. I'm playing him in deeper
definitely.
leagues. I'm
playing Carter Patterson. I mean, if you had to probably pay for him this week. So I mean, you wanna see that return on it.
Well, like I said, if you paid for him 2 weeks ago, like I said, he's free. Mm-hmm. So thank me for that.
Yeah, I think definitely based on how he performed last week, he's gonna have confidence from the offense to get targets this game.
Then what about Saquon?
I was just gonna talk about him. I think this would be the first game where you could roll him out if you. Now, I benched Saquon last week. Granted, he put up the same amount of points as the guy I played, but I think for Saquon owners, this game will show you if they're gonna use him more, because the Falcons defense ain't nothing to be scared of. So if they still hold back against the Falcons, it's gonna tell you they still being very cautious with him.
His snap count went up from 34 to 84 last week. I completely agree, Glenn. I think this is gonna be the Saquon game. I honestly hope so, man. I mean, I want to see good Saquon again. I miss it. Even though I don't have any of him, I still want to see it.
He looked good last week. He had a pretty good run last week. He still seems to have his quickness and ability to cut. He doesn't look like he's scared to run, so we'll see.
Sure, you seem unconvinced.
No, I'm not convinced, to be honest.
That's fair, but yeah. I think this is a proven game.
This is the proven game right there. Come on, Saquon, do something.
If you can't do it against the Falcons, then I don't have much confidence you to do it anywhere else.
Before we move on, Mike Davis, play or not play?
Not play.
Yeah, not play.
Yeah, if you have to, go ahead, but not play. I think Patterson's pretty much stole the role.
Yeah, when you have Patterson stealing your touches.
I still think it's going to be a game script thing, and I think if the Falcons find a way to stay in this, if this is a competitive game, then I think Mike Davis could fall into the end zone. I think he's still going to be their red zone guy. So I'm fine with playing him in the flex this week.
All right, let's move on.
Chargers versus the Chiefs.
What I expect to be a high-scoring game, even though the Chargers has proven to be a great defense. He's going against Pat Mahomes, so
there's no such thing.
Oh, you know
what I'm saying?
Playing all your weapons this week.
Yeah, so 10-finger, 10-toe test. If they have them, you starting them.
I say
the main guys. The main guys.
Green light for all the main guys.
I'm not. Yeah. We still there are the Mecole Hardmans and the Guytons and stuff that I'm still not quite comfortable playing yet.
No green light on them.
Yeah, you're playing all the main guys.
Here's a question: Is there a green light on CEH?
For me, no.
He's a main guy.
I have to break up this jokey post, but somebody put in the group, if you're seeing this, it's too late to sell CEH. I thought that was brilliant.
Unfortunately, I don't think you could. If you could sell him, but it won't be high.
You have to wait for the game. Listen, guys,
but will it happen?
Be a game.
It's the question.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You don't know when it's gonna happen. He gets too much. He still is the main guy in this offense. Who's taking the running back role from him?
No one, not even him. No, he didn't even take it.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, just the fact that he is the main running back on this team, it's gonna happen at some point. The probability is gonna fall in his direction. Mind you, this has nothing to do with the skill or whatever have you. All I'm saying is that I feel you have to wait for that game. You have to wait for that good game and then try to move on. Move on from that on the narrative that he is flipped the switch. Even though I agree that I think CEH is just who he is right now. I don't think this team needs him, and they just don't need him on a week-to-week basis, and so it's not going to be a consistent thing you can rely on.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Also, Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert for fantasy hasn't been the explosive guy that we've been seeing because he's not been getting the touchdowns. Guys, just relax on Justin Herbert. Play Justin Herbert. Continue playing. The air yards are there. The touchdowns is a fluky thing. You just can't. Sometimes they just don't hit. Sometimes your running back gets them. Sometimes the defense scores them.
But the offense has been moving though. The offense has been
touchdowns are gonna come. They're gonna come.
Even without the touchdowns, he's still putting up good numbers.
Yeah, great numbers.
So don't panic.
Not everybody.
I also want to throw Mike Williams out there, who's been playing really good this season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's 100%. You got. He's been out playing Keenan Allen the past 2 weeks.
He's been playing really good.
So that's all.
I tried to get him. In a couple of leagues and nothing. Listen,
I was so happy I picked him through the 2 weeks. He is only his points is only differed by 0.10.
Right. Wow. Wow.
So he's really consistent so far.
Okay. So let's send thoughts and prayers that he doesn't get injured.
Man, don't even bring it up, man.
Don't
Why would
talk
you want to
about
put that
it.
in the
Okay,
atmosphere?
sorry.
Yeah,
Put that in the
come on,
atmosphere.
Shannon. Come
Sorry,
on, man.
my bad.
Come
my
on,
bad.
man. Why would you do that?
My
Why would
bad,
you do
Mike
that?
Williams. Hey, keep balling and keep healthy. Let's
He's
move
just
on.
one of those guys also, just like that, you don't watch but not for the
Yeah.
same reason. You don't
Yeah.
watch because, man, he's land hard, man. I don't know
You
why
wondering if he
land
can get
hard.
up
So
some of these
hard.
times.
So
So
right.
hard.
just don't watch the play. It'll be fine.
Let's move on. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. This, I think, is going to be a very defensive game. I spoke last week about
Yeah.
a sneaky defense is Pittsburgh. That front four, I think they will have one of the highest sacks in the league. And I think their
Okay.
defense is a streamer. This is
Steelers defense. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know I think people are sitting on Steelers defense right now. I don't know if they're sneak Steelers is one
no
of the best defenses in the
Bengals.
league.
Bengals.
Oh, you said Steelers.
You said Steelers.
Sorry, my bad.
I was like
I was
sneaky.
like Steelers
Sorry.
defense.
Weren't they like the best defense last season?
They were.
Bengals, their front
Okay.
four has registered one of the highest sacks in the league so far.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I would be
Alright.
willing to start their defense against Pittsburgh. Big Ben, we don't know if he's going to be in or out or fully healthy. On top of
Yeah, he
him
has a
being
shoulder injury, I
on
think.
top of him being very old and playing like he's old, I would start.
I was just gonna say with the Bengals defense being sneakily good and the Steelers offense being
Non-existent.
really shaky.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't even know if I really trust any Steelers players this week.
Theo, dynasty question, Theo.
I know where
Somebody,
you're going.
yep. Because
I know
you
where
own
you're
him.
going.
You own him in one
I-
league. I own him in another league. Someone made an offer for Najee Harris, and I was tempted to get a haul for Najee Harris.
Listen, it depends on what I mean. You care to tell us what the haul was? Because to me, it depends on what it is.
No, that person didn't have the pieces because I would ask for a lot, and they did not even have it. So I didn't consider.
Exactly.
Okay. I feel like in Dynasty, unless you have a really good offer, I would hold him.
Yeah.
Because the way it's looking,
You can't trade Najee in Dynasty right
But it doesn't.
no,
but I have to say this.
I think this Big Ben's last season, so
Yeah. And
I
I
wouldn't-
mean,
I
now.
wouldn't
Offensive line is terrible for the
that's
Steelers
what
right
I
now.
wanted to get to. It's not an
not-
indictment
it's-
on Najee
Yeah,
Harris's talent.
Right.
It's the offensive line. It's
The
terrible.
fact of the
Yeah.
matter is, they have to get better there.
Yeah.
They
In
do.
Dynasty, you're thinking about the seasons to come, not just this season.
Yeah.
They have to focus on that next draft. You have to believe that they will, and it's going to get better. But this, this is only 2 games in, and Najee is a rookie.
And
we
he
still
has-
have to allow for the growing pains.
He has shown improvement in the second
He
game.
has.
Yeah.
He has.
But
So I would ride out the wave with Najee. You still have to play with Najee every week just because of the amount of he's on the field too much. There's
Yeah.
no way you can sit Najee. But I agree that it's scary. Everyone else is scary. Deontay Johnson, I don't think he's gonna play this week.
no.
Which would
let's face it,
normally
no.
be a green light for Chase Claypool, right? But
Clay hasn't really done much this season.
or Juju.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's nebulous. I don't know who's going to take it over.
Juju
Yeah.
actually had a good game last week, if I remember correctly.
Oh, didn't even notice, to be
Juju
honest.
on targets.
I have him on
because
my roster.
Juju
That's
is
the only
their
reason I know.
slot receiver now. He's getting the targets. So I'm fine with flexing out Juju, but
Yeah,
I'm still
Juju-
even if Deontay doesn't play, I'm scared about Claypool.
All right,
yeah.
let's
Juju had a pretty okay game in our Dynasty League. He had 16 points,
okay.
and
Let's
he's
round
on the
this-
field for 96% of the snaps. So
Nice. Let's round this one out with the targets on the Bengals side. Higgins looks as though I was afraid for Higgins, but Chase's
He's gonna
arrival.
sit.
But yeah, Higgins is gonna sit. But this is now a buy for me. With that injury, I'm making some looks to try to get Higgins.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a buy.
I think this team is I think this Bengals team has got to get back to the form of last season. I think Joe Burrow has kind of got to get back. Joe Burrow hasn't looked terrible. He doesn't look bad.
no.
But I just think, they just gotta I think it's gonna get better as the season goes on.
But hey, here's the thing: where they could have gotten Penny Sewell on the offensive line, they went out and got Chase.
I mean,
Hey,
but listen, I mean, it's not, but Chase, for all the football size quotes and whatever have you and offseason stuff, has not been bad either. He
No,
has
he
been the
hasn't.
guy that they've
But
wanted him to be. The
they had-
streaking on
they
the
had
field, the
Higgins.
big play guy.
they had Higgins and they had Boyd. They really could have passed up on Chase and got
They
the
could've.
offensive line.
They could have.
I think they figured let's get a generational weapon, and then we could worry about offensive line next offseason.
But Penny is a generational offensive lineman.
He's looking great for the Lions.
Yeah. But anyway, we gotta
yeah.
move on. We gotta move on.
R.I.P. to his career.
Joe Mixon, you're playing Joe Mixon, by the way. I think you're still playing Joe Mixon.
Oh, definitely.
I think you have to continue to play him. Once again, just like Najee, too much touches on the field to sit him. So
yeah, Chicago and Cleveland. Baker is performing.
Sneaky game, good game. Yeah.
Sneaky good.
I mean, the Bears defense isn't as scary as it once was.
No, I mean, but last week it was more Burrow's fault. Those 3 interceptions back to back.
Yeah, I'm saying I was gonna say I don't know, Glenn.
But
I think the Bears defense they've been pretty good.
They've been pretty good, but it's more of the mistakes on the offensive side last week. But still want to hold on to. But this is going to be the first start for your boy
back. Your boy back, Sherlin.
OBJ.
Fade him.
No Jarvis and his best friend.
No Jarvis.
Gone.
I don't know if I would fade him.
So, do you give me permission? If he doesn't perform this game, do you give me permission to permanently bury him?
I would say permanently.
Because
you gotta remember this is first game. He's played what 13 games.
The excuses.
Man, you gotta give him a chance. I just want to see a spark this week. That's all. Just give me.
I'm telling you now, I'm gonna bury him.
Old OBJ.
I don't know why you hate.
You can't expect for him to come back. This is his first game back. Come and give the guy
OBJ. I'm gonna take those 3 letters out of the alphabet if he doesn't perform. Seriously,
man. I mean, and it's the Bears defense too, Sheldon. I mean, come on, this is a tough defense. I'm not
the
sure.
Excuses already. Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying.
Being fair, the guy hasn't played in pretty much almost a season.
Okay. All right.
Cool. On the other guys on the Brown side, Xander, you've mentioned Schwartz starts multiple times. Any trying to get him in the lineup this week, or you still just hold him on the bench? I'll
still hold him on the bench.
I still say Higgins. No one's talking about Higgins, but this may just be me. I think he's going to rise this week. That's who I would start. That's who I would start.
This would be the
OBJ.
time to rise.
If I had to, I would start Higgins over OBJ.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I would.
Right,
I would.
No, I would not do that. I would not start anyone other than OBJ in this.
Should we put a bet for this? Who's going to have a better week? Who's going to have a better week to you, Higgins or OBJ?
OBJ.
I say Higgins. Let's come back next week and see how this one plays out.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. But who I do want to bring notice to is the tight ends for the Browns. With Jarvis Landry out, these tight ends are gonna have to step up, and I think these are going to be the main beneficiaries, not the wide receivers.
I agree.
Because the tight ends usually running the type of routes that Landry would be running, not the deep routes.
Agreed.
Exactly.
The only thing
Austin
is
Hooper. I feel like you can squeeze him in if you need to. If you're having tight end issues, I think this could be a good game for Hooper this week.
What about Njoku?
Njoku is there too. I know Njoku is there. Listen, it's rough. It's tough, but
what's up, Glenn? Something you need to bring that attention.
Hooper outsnapped him.
No, I just
Hooper outsnapped him last season.
What happened now? Childish. Because Theo, see if you having tight end issues.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Still guys being childish.
We needed that though. We needed that.
Next game is the Baltimore Ravens.
No, we have to talk about Justin Fields.
Sorry. Oh, Lord, the Bears. Sorry about that.
Justin Fields. Hey, it's his first start. I must say when he did play last week, he didn't look too good, but it's something to watch. I must say in a certain league, I spent 35 fab on him thinking that it was going to go crazy and no one else bid. I'm feeling like, did I miss something? So maybe I did.
Listen, if I had seen, I think now, I didn't really look, honestly. This is you would have won him by far, because I would have put like 10, I would have maybe put a 10, 15.
And the thing is, I put $6, right? And I was like, hold on, by Justin Fields? Let's do this. 35. Yeah. No one bid anything. Wow.
No, it was. I mean, listen. I think because of the rushing, we know he has a rushing element to his game.
Yeah.
It could be. This could be a great game, but also, I mean, it could
Yeah,
be a
that
rough start for him.
I agree.
The front seven of the Browns is no joke,
yeah,
Yeah.
and Bears' offensive line isn't the greatest. So
right?
Yeah.
So definitely, this is gonna be an interesting game to watch on
it
both sides
is.
of the
It is.
field.
It
It
is.
is.
There's a lot of questions that need answers. So I think it's gonna be a fun game. Montgomery, once again, this is you're playing this
Hey,
guy having a
again,
great season so far.
good call on your confidence in Montgomery going into the season. Good call. This
Yeah,
I gotta
man,
say that.
he's getting the touches, he's getting the tie, he has everything in his offense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be a great running back moving forward,
All
and
right.
just keep playing him.
Okay. We got
All right.
Baltimore versus Detroit.
Baltimore and Detroit.
Oh man.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So I mean, let's get through the line side first, so we can get to the Ravens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
I don't
it's-
really have
See,
much
Quintez Cephas.
confidence.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to talk about Cephas because
Hold
he's
on.
the only one to talk about.
No. Let's talk
Who
about
else?
TJ Hawkinson. Come
No,
on.
tight end. We do talk to him. Let's talk about the wide receivers.
Let's talk about him because he's everything for this offense.
I think
He is, but
we
we don't need to talk about him. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's
I think you're
saying
rolling out
Hawkinson, you start
every
him.
week.
Right.
He's
Okay.
the,
Yeah,
for me, he's the only player on the Lions team that I can start confidently.
I
What?
agree.
Not even Swift. the
Except for
running
Swift.
back?
Except for Swift. Swift has been getting better every week.
Yeah.
And we saw last week on their drive where they needed to score.
They went
Swift.
to him.
It was
Yeah.
all
I
Swift.
mean, him and Williams didn't have the best
No, they
fantasy
didn't have the
day,
best.
but they were on the field and they were used.
Yeah. And he catches the targets, which in a PPR league is what you want. And he's smooth with the targets, man. I saw him compared to Kamara. He's not Kamara, but
Oh.
in catching the ball, this guy he's a savant. So I
I'll-
think you definitely
I'll throw
play
something
Swift
out
every
there.
week.
Not this game, but let's keep an eye on Jared Goff, who is not sucking as much as you thought he would.
He's a streamer.
He could be a streamer. He is like one of the top streamers for me if I ever needed to stream.
I think he is a streamer based on the week. If you have a really good a weak defense coming to the Lions,
Yeah.
go ahead, man, play him.
All right. Enough
Yeah.
about the Lions. Let's talk about Baltimore.
Baltimore. Listen, Tyson Williams. I think he has been excellent. Do you know that Tyson Williams has the second highest yards per carry among running backs?
I saw that.
Tyson Williams
you
has
think-
been doing work, and he has been getting more touches on the field steadily.
Do you think it's a bubble thing or something that's gonna keep on happening?
It could be a bubble, mind you.
Okay.
I am completely aware that it could be a bubble, but I think if you have him, you have to continue to ride the wave. Honestly,
I agree.
If you have him, he's a flex guy every week to me.
Yeah. And I must say, the Baltimore offense, through all its adversity, I'm beginning to have a little bit more confidence in the offense, including
Mhm.
Lamar Jackson. He could be rising up off of people's benches.
I don't
Agreed.
think who's benching Lamar. People was benching Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that's because I have Tom Brady, though.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you have Brady, so I mean that's why you could bench Lamar Jackson. But
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm
to
speaking
me, I don't
about.
know. Like I'm talking, we have to consider, that most people are playing redraft. In redraft, where you had to draft Lamar Jackson to
Yeah,
get
you're
him,
playing
there's
him.
no way you were benching Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
If you
in Dynasty, maybe you could. But
right, if you
cannot.
have another capable quarterback, he was going to sit on my bench, to be honest.
And to be fair, I'm heavily considering playing Lamar this week as opposed to Brady because Brady playing the Rams,
Right,
Lamar playing the Lions.
right.
So
That's a fair call. I'd probably do the same
Lamar's
thing.
looking like the start this week.
I'll
Yeah,
probably do the same thing.
Yeah,
I like his
think
confidence.
Lamar is just like I don't understand how you because Lamar is much better than Jalen Hurts, and you have all of these concerns about him, but no concerns about Hurts.
Let's wait for the
I don't
Dallas.
get it.
Let's wait for the Dallas Eagles game.
What that's supposed to
I mean,
prove? Dallas,
that's
Dallas
a better
defense ain't
matchup.
great.
Yes,
That's something we have to talk about. But my point is that Lamar
I
is
don't understand it.
Lamar is great, but he has not been winning you the leagues like he would. I'm beginning to see a little bit more from him to for where he is, where he should be, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I think you're talking about just elite versus good.
That's it.
And I guess that's what you mean. But the thing
That's
about
it.
it is, in the quarterback landscape, you can't afford to sit someone like Lamar Jackson unless
No,
you're in a
you
great
can't.
situation.
Okay.
Just because he gives you a better floor than most. For Marquis Brown, I I think you asked me about him earlier. And here's the thing: this week, I think could be one of those trap weeks for Marquis Brown. So this is week I'm really concerned. Also, he went from a limited practice to not practicing at all yesterday. We got to see what he does this week. The ankle injury is something that I think they're just kind of controlling and monitoring. So I think he's still going to end up playing. But I think this could be more of a running game just in general, because I think they're just going to be up and there's not going to be a need for the pass.
And as you say that, monitoring how much the offense has improved in running and passing to the wide receivers. So if someone were to make me an offer for Mark Andrews right now, a good enough offer, I would sell him.
Is Duvernay in this week? No, not Duvernay. Bateman.
No. Bateman isn't in until I think he still has a few more weeks.
Yeah. Because I say that because at one time Mark Andrews was the only passing target, and he is not anymore so far. So it's something to watch.
It's been rough for Mark Andrews.
Yeah,
I agree. It's something to watch too. I don't know. I really don't have a scale. I think if you drafted Mark Andrews, you may have to play him just because of where you had to take him.
Yeah, definitely in a redraft.
Probably still have to play him, but
it may be sell time for me in Dynasty, depending on who I can get for him.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
All righty.
All right, we have the
New Orleans
Saints versus the Patriots. England.
This screams defense to me.
It does. The only player I'm confident in starting from the Patriots is Harris.
Yeah, me too. Can agree with that.
For the Saints, Kamara.
Interesting.
Even though Kamara, I mean, you have to play Kamara.
You have to play Kamara.
Kamara has been meh.
Yeah, he has been. Kamara.
Yep.
And listen,
I think now, because the Saints had such a dominant showing in week 1 and such a lackluster showing in week 2, it's like you don't even know what they are right now.
Yeah, exactly. We're still trying to figure out what the Jameis Winston Saints. What kind of team is this team?
It's like, was week 1 the fluke or was week 2 the fluke?
Yeah,
I don't know.
We know what the Patriots do though. You know, they take away the best player. The best player on the field is Kamara.
And they're gonna force Jameis to throw. I don't know how much throwing you want Jameis Winston to be doing.
Exactly. I mean, he has no one to throw to. I mean, I
don't want to dwell on it, but he looked terrible last week. That interception he threw like late in the fourth, like he was literally not.
He looked like he was back in Tampa Bay.
He literally wasn't looking. He was like on his one tippy toe. Anyway.
Listen, man.
I mean, Mike gut tells me this is not going to be a pretty game for Winston.
Winston had 1 week to get that LASIK eye surgery bag, and he fumbled it. He missed out on opportunity. Now that commercial, all the opportunity is gone.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Let's move up page to the page. We talked about
the only thing I want to say on the Patriots is still a nebulous for the wide receivers. I'm still trying to hype up Myers. I saw a stat. He's never scored a touchdown in his entire career.
Oh my goodness, dude! Insane.
So
insane.
I'm trying to wish you a touchdown. I would personally buy you a game ball if you were to catch a touchdown this week.
Put it in the atmosphere. Come on, Myers, get a touchdown.
Yeah, come on. I mean, he's definitely one of the top targets, but like you say, he's not getting touchdowns. If he would get at least 1 touchdown a week,
just one,
it would put him in that category of he's a solid flex starter.
Because while Aguilar is out, this is his time.
Yeah.
So I think that offense just needs to come around. Mac Jones still a rookie.
Yeah.
We need to give them some time.
Yeah, I mean, and they clearly still have the training wheels on him a little bit. He's not really taking any deep shots. So
okay. So let's move on.
Who does not need some time is the Arizona Cardinals.
Jesus, they need to slow down.
I don't see any slowing down this week.
It's just like the
Right.
pot of gold points, they just flow from Kyler Murray's hands.
This
Oh
is
my
one team
goodness.
you could literally
They're
start
playing the Jaguars,
anybody.
by the way.
Come
Yeah,
on. Come on, start
Um,
anybody.
Sheldon, I want to fight you, but I don't know.
this is gonna be.
If
I see this
if
being
I
a
if,
really good game for
if I have someone on this team, I want to play
Arizona.
them.
I would
even
start
though,
for the
like,
first time.
I
I would
don't
start Kirk.
know.
I would start Kirk. I would start Max
Rondale
Williams.
Moore.
Rondale Moore. I would
Rondale
start
Moore.
Max Williams.
If you have a starting Cardinal player, you put him out there.
I would definitely
Yeah, I
start
mean-
Chase Edmonds. I would start corner. Right?
Yeah,
Because
okay.
there's
All right.
no,
I
honestly,
don't know if
look at the game script. They most likely will be leading 55-6 in the fourth quarter.
But the thing what I've noticed with the Cardinals, even when leading, they don't turn to a running game. They still throw in the ball.
I agree. But this would be
If
the
any
time.
running happening, it's going to be Murray running.
But this would be the time to put the plotter in. Like
I would
think-
say I agree with you. Listen, if you have to flex on corner, I don't hate it. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I think you get your Cardinals in this game. The Jaguars defense is toilet paper,
I
and
agree.
you just run with their wet toilet paper. Sorry,
Correction.
correct then.
Very
Yeah.
wet.
Not the defense. The Jaguars team is toilet paper. Because I
Agreed.
rewatched the game
Oh.
last week and they missed it.
Oh man.
They missed an easy extra point. They missed an easy
They are
field
well
goal.
on their way to 0-12.
Trevor Lawrence looks like garbage.
I mean, hey,
Garbage.
welcome to the NFL, rookie.
I wouldn't say garbage. I've seen him make some good throws.
Yeah,
it's
I wouldn't
just
say-
clear the team around
it's-
him is not good.
It's tough to rise up above when
It
you have
is.
that kind of stuff. You know, when you're
is.
dealing with a team on an F team and also a new head coach who's just
Who
not
doesn't
doing
seem
what
to
he
be
yeah,
grasping
I mean, yeah,
So,
Urban Meyer.
doesn't care
I don't
about
know
that
how
team.
long he's gonna last there.
No,
Yeah.
not at
But
all. So let's
for
move
the
on.
Jaguars, I don't know who I could even tell you.
I don't think
you
I
can play James Robinson. I think you can play him.
Yeah, if you have
He's on
to.
the field
you
enough
can play him
if
and
you have
hope.
to.
If you have
But
to.
everyone else, I'm still scared of.
Yeah.
Let's
All
move
right.
on.
Let's go
Move
on to
on.
the Jets versus Denver. What do I say? Where do we start? Except start Corey Davis.
I was gonna say start with Denver.
Let's
Yeah,
go
I
with
mean,
Denver then.
with Denver,
The
you
hope
can
of this game.
you can start your players.
Well, Sutton.
I agree.
Sutton carry on
I
like a
agree.
beast last
Oh,
game.
You can
Man,
start
last week.
Sutton.
Awesome.
Not
I
long
think-
listen,
for Sutton to do
Teddy
what he
B.
did.
Yeah, man.
Teddy B has a solid floor.
Teddy B is a solid streamer. He's a
He
solid
is.
streamer against a defense like this. I'm looking to play Teddy B if I can.
Yeah, I
Um,
definitely agree.
agreed.
With
Tim Patrick
I-
caught a touchdown last week.
that. I saw that.
You know,
I saw that.
Saw some targets.
Tim
You can-
Patrick
you
is
can
a
roll him
start.
out.
Noah Fant is a start.
Of
Definitely.
course. Of course.
What about the running backs?
The
here?
running
I was
backs, though.
gonna say any
Yeah.
separation there. It's still hey.
Separation is the word, Sherlin. I don't
Melvin
see,
Gordon?
There's not a difference between them right now.
It feels like they're both the same player,
and they're
right?
both they're both like just
That's the
Yeah.
thing though. Melvin Gordon, as much as you like to trash him, he's still like consistently good. Not great,
Yes.
but
Yeah,
consistently good.
I think that's
Yeah.
If you have to flex him, I mean, listen, James Conner or Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon. Yeah.
All right, just testing the waters there.
Yeah.
But,
you got me there. I get your point.
Yeah, listen, I mean, Melvin Gordon, I think you have to, you can flex these guys out. Both him and Javante, I think, are in the same kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
if you need something, if you need to have some points in the position, if you're hurting,
But
go ahead.
my last point on this may be the time. This may be the lowest you can get Javante Williams in Dynasty. You can say, hey, he's not doing anything yet. Let me give
Yeah.
you something for him.
Fair
Yeah.
point. Fair
Right.
point.
So let's move on. Oh well, let's touch New York.
The Jets.
Start
Yeah.
Corey Davis. I'm fading pretty much everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Crowder is out. Crowder is out again, gonna be out again this week. And Braxton Berrios, I think we have to just he is becoming that Crowder-esque type person on this team where
Yeah.
he's
Yep.
just eating up a lot of targets.
Yeah.
A lot of short yardage targets in a PPR league. I think you could do worse than a flexing out of Berrios this week. Like you said, definitely Davis, and you're staying away from this running back. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Stay far away.
Anyway. All right, let's move on.
All right. We have the Raiders
go with
and Dolphins.
The undefeated Raiders. Correct. I have to correct you.
Oh, 2-0, baby.
Yeah, undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, and going up against Jacoby Brissett this week.
Yeah, that's a fun one. The only thing I would say is Carr had some injury issues last week. But they said he would play, but I don't know.
He's been practicing fully this week.
So I heard.
I think he's a start.
But yeah, listen, Carr he's been doing it for fantasy this year, guys.
Yeah.
We have to give him his due.
Yeah. I mean,
he's sitting up there with the top upper echelon guys in fantasy.
This is what the Raiders do at the beginning of every season. They ball out.
Exactly.
So
call it out, Xander.
You play them until midseason, and then you start to worry.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, fire up here, Darren Waller. What about Josh Jacobs? He's still out, Josh Jacobs.
I think I haven't. I really have not been paying attention.
I think he's in this week.
Reports.
I think he's in.
Is he in?
Let's find
That's
out.
a good question.
Yeah. Let's vet that real quick. But while we do that, I would say the wide receivers it's still hard to trust any of them.
He missed a second straight practice.
Yeah, he's questionable, so I guess he'll probably be a game time decision.
I'm not comfortable starting Drake. I picked up Peyton Barber for the cheap last week. Didn't play him, and thank God I didn't. I'd stay away from this backfield.
Yeah, I think I would as well. I mean, I think all your fantasy value coming from Carr, Waller, and Ruggs.
Yeah. On the Miami side,
any comfort playing Dolphins players without
anyone?
Tua in there?
Nope, not even Gaskin, which they relied on last year when things were crappy, and he doesn't have the same role this year.
They did not look good after Tua went out.
No,
I'm
0
play them
points.
On this Raiders defense hasn't been terrible.
No,
they've been. I picked up the Raiders defense in the league, and I think you're definitely trying to play them this week against Brissett, and this hit this team while they're down.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to play Dolphins guys this week. I have to play Gesicki in the league, unfortunately, but hopefully Brissett can target him. Hopefully. He's a guy that I'm hoping to could get those short yardage targets, but other than that, stay away.
Stay away. Seattle and Minnesota.
Oh yeah. This one here, I think, is going to be a barn burner.
I expect this to be a fireworks show.
Me too. I saw Metcalf was dealing with an injury. He said he wanted to get ahead of the reports, but he's still going to play.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. So fire him up, of course. Lockett. Let's see how long Lockett is going to keep this exceptional thing going.
And here's the thing: we have to draw too. We know this happens. The thing is, these guys get boom, but the boom comes with the bust.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And the problem with Lockett, the reason that I traded him years ago, which I regret the trade, but at the same time, it's just tough when you have this guy that can win.
You have to play him. You have to play him.
Can also give you 0.
Yeah.
It's like it's possible, guys. So
Lockett is good for like 2 or 3 boom games. He just had one.
Mm-hmm.
He's had 2.
He had 2 back to back.
Yeah.
So odds are this week is not going to be a boom.
Him and Cooper Kupp are number 1 and 2. I must say, I'm giving away some of my strategy. I have a dynasty league where I have both. One of them probably is going to have to go because it's unreasonable to think that they're going to be consistent throughout the whole season.
Agreed.
Yep. You just never know when to play him. But at the end of the day, we're not telling you that you got to play him. You got to play him. You got to play all your wide receivers and for Chris Carson. I think you got to play him as well.
Of course.
Keep him rolling out.
Mr. Consistent.
He's the main running back. Yeah, man. Listen, 2 touchdowns last week, even on a week where he was down.
Yeah.
Chris Carson is just a nice, solid running back for your team.
Yeah. And
on the Minnesota side with Jefferson, still looks awesome. Love that guy.
If I'm not mistaken, the Vikings defense isn't that great either. So definitely play Carson.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're last in rushing defense actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So listen.
So this could be a game. Fireworks. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen.
What about KJ Osborne, guys?
Your boy.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling about him?
If I had to, I would roll him out. Definitely has some flex appeal.
I mean, I would roll him out.
Yeah, I agree.
In a game like this,
yeah,
in a game like this with a lot of these points, come on.
He's starting to make a little name for himself. If he has another good game this week, oh my, it's gonna be it's gonna be hard to sit him, even as the third wide receiver on this team.
Hey, and dynasty wise, we don't know if this may be Thielen's last year. He may be the number 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you have KJ Osborne, like I do, be excited. You know, hopefully he can continue to do this. The running back. Let's just talk quickly about the running back. Dalvin Cook has not practiced at all this week. This is shaping up to be a Madison week. If you are a Dalvin Cook owner, hopefully you had the good sense to also draft Madison as a must-add. This is the problem with Dalvin Cook, man.
Yeah.
As good as he is,
Injuries.
you have to draft 2 players for him. You have to draft 2 players to say you really have Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're a long-term owner of Cook,
you have him.
You've been conditioned at this point to know you're going to lose Cook for at least 2 games every season.
But not to dwell on it, you've also been conditioned that Madison won't win you the game like how Dalvin does.
Yeah,
exactly. And this is what I was saying with Hubbard. This is the same thing. Sometimes when the main guys goes down, we wanna put that same kind of pressure on the next guy up, and he's just that. There's a reason that the main guy is the main guy. Dalvin Cook is he's one of the greatest. You can't expect that Madison is gonna step in there and be great. But could step in there and be good enough to
win you to keep you good.
You're playing Madison if Cook is out. If Cook plays,
you have to play him.
I'm scared, but you got to play him.
Yeah.
All right, Tampa Bay.
versus the Rams.
One of the biggest games of the week.
I think so too.
This is one of the biggest games. 2-0 versus 2-0, baby.
I think this is going to be a defensive struggle.
Here, this is what I wanted to say. Everything on paper makes it seem that way, but the way Tampa Bay has been playing,
I agree with you, Sherlin. I don't think so. I do not think this is going to be a defensive struggle. I think this is going to be points to be had.
This could be. Remember that LA versus Kansas City game 2 years ago? It was one of the highest fantasy scoring games. I think this may be.
Now that you say it, thinking about it, I think that both teams are going to have to throw because their run defenses are really good. Yes. So all they can do is throw.
Exactly. Yes. Tampa Bay and both teams have Tampa Bay has had some issues on the cornerback side. Jalen Ramsey can't be everywhere.
No.
Listen, there's gonna be points to be had in this game. Unfortunately, it looks like AB is gonna be.
No, I saying Jalen Ramsey can't be anywhere, and Bucks have a ton of weapons.
They got a
ton of weapons. Yeah.
Speaking of which, AB is COVID positive.
Yeah.
He is vaccinated, but I think due to the rules, I'm not sure he's gonna be able to make it back in time for this game.
Yeah, I think he's out this game.
So it's gonna be the Scotty Miller step up.
I was gonna mention his name, but grain of salt. He may.
I don't think you don't.
Don't start him, but he may contribute. He may contribute in this game.
I wouldn't do anything with him, honestly. AB is coming back. You just don't worry. Let other people buy into that.
Which I did. You saw I dropped him in the league, and I'm like, hey, good luck with him.
Yeah.
Drop that grenade on the waiver and let someone.
Right. Don't be fooled. But I'm expecting. I think honestly, all the guys in this game, I think there's a bunch of must-start guys. You know, I don't know.
Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods,
Cooper Kupp. Yeah, you got to start these guys. All the wide receivers, the main wide receivers, you got to start up.
Yeah.
Gronk.
Running backs is where we have
the running backs is the
problem
questions
for both teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Henderson has a rib injury. We don't know what's going to happen there.
I would caution against all these running backs unless you have to play them.
Yeah. Agree. Well, let's move on. Or anything else.
So
yeah, keep on gronking.
All right, we got 49ers and Packers.
Sunday night.
This could be this definitely will be a good game.
I think it will be.
Yeah.
I think it will be.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be great. San Francisco's defense is nothing to be afraid of. Of course,
not anymore. Yeah, they're definitely, they got players. They have names, but
they've kind of tapered off.
Yeah,
they're not as formidable as they used to be.
No, so everything on the Green Bay side, you fire up.
Guys, what are we doing with this 49ers running back situation?
I am avoiding it. I want nothing to do with it.
But what if you can't?
I'm
Boy.
sorry if you can't.
I'm sorry if you can't. Like,
Because
I really don't know.
I don't even know who to tell you to start.
Do they
don't
know
seem
who's
to
starting?
Exactly. They don't even seem to be favoring anyone. No one's getting any preferred treatment. It's like
You know
I
what's
don't
gonna
want
happen? You know what's gonna happen? Debo Samuel is gonna shine. That's what I think. Because you know they like to run him from the sweeps on the outside. I think they're gonna rely on Debo.
I normally I would say I would be more afraid because you have to remember the Green Bay Packers have like the second and in some cases first best cornerback in the league.
Yeah.
So I
and
would
your
be,
Brandon
but
Ayuk's.
they find ways to get the ball in Debo's hands.
Yeah.
I still think you have to with the start he has had. Debo has the best. I think he has the best yards after the catch of all wide receivers right now.
Agree.
Yeah, Debo's a start. I heard you mention Ayuk. That's a caution for me.
It's a caution, but
I would not be.
I wouldn't
Ayuk
start
in
him.
this game.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he has a game.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you're right.
I would be surprised.
Right.
He's a good player. It's just he hasn't been himself this season.
He's had a rough start, but we have to wait to see it before you
before
you go ahead and feel comfortable playing him.
Let's round it out with the game of the week.
Packers side. Did we talk about anything about the Packers side? Side.
You firing up? You
playing your usuals.
Your Devontae, Aaron Jones,
Devontae.
Tunyon, if you have him.
I guess there's not much to talk about. Yeah, you have Tunyon, and I think you're starting him. Yeah, you're right.
Other than that,
Packers. Guys, let me apologize. I think I made a statement on MVS last two ago, saying that he has the target share. Listen, him and Rodgers just don't seem to be on the same page.
No,
they don't have that mind meld that Adams has. Rodgers just can't seem to hit him, and it's not been MVS's fault all the way. Rodgers has been missing him on some deep targets. Yeah. He broke away 2 times last season and just
he had an end zone target that he didn't. That it was Rodgers' fault, and he admitted it as well.
Yeah.
So I also just saw a message saying LaFleur wants Randall Cobb more involved in the gameplay,
and he has been getting involved though. So
yeah.
If you don't
play the guys exactly, don't play the other guys.
Let's move on. Let's end this with the game of the week.
Oh boy.
I saw Sirianni. Sirianni was wearing a beat Cowboy shirt, and Zeke had a few comments about it. So I think this is going to be this is going to be great. Besides my Hurts love, this is the start of the week for me, Jalen Hurts, because the Dallas defense is still crappy, and I think there's lots of points to be scored on both sides of the ball. I'm firing up every piece for every side, including even the Cowboys. Amari Cooper's. Zeke may actually have I don't know. Philly's defense, their front line has been kind of good.
That's the one thing I think we've all forgotten is that Philly's defense, running defense has been good for years.
Yeah.
They've always had a solid run defense. I'm still rolling on the side of Zeke because I agree with you. I think this game is going to be a high scoring one. I think it's going to be an exciting game. Both these teams are going to be in the red zone. I think Zeke is in line for a touchdown or 2 this game.
But I have to take that back. I think Pollard is going to have a game, not Zeke.
Oh boy.
I really do.
Pollard already had his game.
No.
This is gonna be a Zeke week.
I think there's going to be a Pollard year.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. But I agree that I think you need to get whoever you have for these teams in this game.
Guys,
CeeDee Lamb has been having a breakout season.
Yes, he has.
Awesome. He's everything that we expected him to be, getting the targets. And he's he had a little bit of a rough game in week 1 with a couple of drops. He took care of that in week 2. And I think he's only going to become more and more involved.
Amari, his status may be up in the air. He had a rib injury.
I think he's going to play though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, if I didn't say it before, I think Hurts is going to have a top 5 week this week.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised. I unfortunately I agree with you. I think he's gonna have a really good week.
Yeah, I mean, we all know the Dallas defense isn't the greatest, so
they're also missing their best defensive player right now. So they're gonna be points to be had.
And it's a division game.
Jalen Reagor could find himself in the mix this week.
I think he's flex worthy this week for one of the first times. I would feel confident starting him.
I agree.
Definitely.
It's a division game. They have quite a bit of preamble going into this game.
Yeah.
So
What
emotions
about
are going
Miles
to be high.
Sanders, Sherlin?
I think he'll have an okay game, and an okay is maybe 90 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, because remember the RPO opens up a lot of lanes for him. He has a higher floor than most. He doesn't win you weeks, but he gives you a good floor. I would trade for Miles Sanders.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Good
All
to
right.
know.
We did it
all.
all.
There we go.
We did
That
it all.
is your
This
week
week.
3 game lineup.
Adjust
Once
your
again, a
lines
bunch of
accordingly.
exciting games. Football is so good, man. Just so good to be in the season and be something to get excited for Thursday, Monday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
And of course, when the College Champions episodes come
Of
out.
course. Where to find us?
I think we wanna apologize for this week's first episode of the week. We had some technical difficulties, guys. Like we said, guys, ride, be on the journey with us as we continue to figure
Going
this
through the
stuff out.
growing pains.
Treat us
Yeah.
like how these guys always have confidence in OBJ.
Oh gosh, we gotta get it
Treat
together,
us the
guys,
way
and make
Sherlin
sure.
loves Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Yes, look at us like the way Sherlin looks at Jalen Hurts. But
So-
we gotta make sure we get you guys 2 episods a week.
Yeah.
We're working out the kinks.
Yeah.
Thank you for sticking with us, and please continue to follow us on all our social media at Couch Champions Fantasy, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. We are the Couch Champions. On YouTube, we are Couch Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. Go ahead and subscribe, do all the stuff, guys. We converse with us, man.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want. We'd love to be able to have some more interactions with you guys as we grow, and let us know how your team is doing. Let us know what any questions that you have. We'd love to be able to do a question and answer segment at some point. So definitely get in with us. Follow us on all the social media aspects. Yeah, man. We look forward to talking to you guys about this exciting weekend next Tuesday.
All right. See you next week. Enjoy.
Have a good one.